So post round 3 of the World Cup, it's pool permutations and predictions time. We've had a fair bit of information on who is looking good, who's potentially on the brink of going out. So let's get into it. Pool A is probably cut and dried here, but Italy are the potential fly in the ointment. It would be a massive shock if they beat either New Zealand or France, who they've yet to play, but you never know. We've seen a lot of head-on-head clashes, red cards, that sort of thing. Uruguay do look a step above Namibia. In fact, they might have even played Namibia at the time of release of this video, I don't know. But that's probably the clash of round 4. But in reality, it does look destined to be France number 1 in that pool, New Zealand number 2 as the 2 qualifiers. So let's look at Pool B and go to town on it a bit with the permutations. The pool of death, has it already killed off Scotland? Well, not necessarily. Let me go through a stack of permutations, very interesting. Every result is still possible. I mean, Scotland were back to form against Tonga, really cut their defence apart at times, some really attractive tries, something they didn't manage against South Africa at all. And it does look like a bonus point win against Romania is almost assured if they play like that. So that would put Scotland on potentially 10 points going into the Ireland game. Now, of course, they have to win the Ireland game, but let's look at the permutations. Let's start with Scotland's best case scenario. So let's say South Africa beat Tonga, but without a bonus point. And Scotland, of course, beat Ireland with a bonus point, and Ireland get no bonus point. So this is how it would stand. Scotland on 15 going through as pool winners, Ireland on 14, South Africa also on 14, but Ireland would go through because the head-to-head is for Ireland. So in that dream scenario, Scotland go through as the winners. But if we do the same scenario with Ireland and Scotland, but the more likely result with South Africa beating Tonga with a bonus point, that actually puts South Africa on top, going through as first with 15. Scotland lose out on the head-to-head in second, and Ireland go out of the World Cup on 14. Okay, so let's stick with South Africa beating Tonga with a bonus point, but what if Scotland win with no bonus point and Ireland lose with a bonus point? Well, that puts Ireland through on 15, South Africa on 15 as well, Ireland going through head-to-head, and Scotland out on 14. But how about this scenario? Scotland beat Ireland with a bonus point, but Ireland get a losing bonus point, South Africa get a bonus point versus Tonga, then it is a 3-way tie on 15. Head-to-head doesn't matter then it is points difference, meaning Scotland would have to go all out to beat Romania by loads, which they could, and South Africa may be the most likely to catch the top 2 at the moment, so that maybe would go with Ireland and South Africa and Scotland still out, even though they got 15 points. But the most likely scenario is probably Ireland beating Scotland, let's say without a bonus point, and let's say Scotland get a losing bonus point, South Africa get their bonus point win against Tonga, that would be Ireland on 18, South Africa on 15 going through, and Scotland crashing out in third on 11. So any of these big 3 could go through or still go out, so let's see what happens. Which scenario would you like to see, and which scenario do you think will happen? So Pool C, I'm actually saying it's done and dusted. Let me know if you disagree. Wales' last game is against Georgia. They'll want to make up for losing to them recently, and they should do enough to qualify at least, I think, in first place. Fiji also have their hardest games on paper out of the way. They need to negotiate Georgia and Portugal, which they really should, so I think they go through probably in second. And Australia, well, they've got a chance to finish on a bit of a positive against Portugal, but basically they are out, so Wales first, Fiji second. So let's have a look at Pool D, and I think England are through actually. Let me know if you think I'm wrong there, but it's not over behind them. Samoa, Argentina, they're going to be battling it out. I think Japan look a little below them on quality. Argentina should be too good for Chile, so let's say Samoa win against Japan with a bonus point and Japan get no bonus point. Then Argentina win with a bonus point against Chile, but they get no bonus point. At that point, without the pool actually over, that would be England 14, Samoa 10, Argentina 9. But then assume that Argentina beat Japan in the final game, they could get to 14, but they'd lose out to England on head-to-head. So yeah, I think England are definitely through. But if Samoa beat England in their last game, they probably go through. So for me, it's a shootout between Argentina and Samoa, but let's assume for now that England 18, Argentina 14, Samoa 10 is the final score, but any one of those guys between Argentina and Samoa could go through. So if my most likely scenarios were to happen, these would be the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal 1 would be the winner of C, Wales, against the runner-up of D, Argentina. So probably you say Wales would have the easiest quarterfinal there. Let me know if you disagree. Then a massive one between Ireland and New Zealand in quarterfinal 2. Then quarterfinal 3, the winner of D should be England against Fiji, so a great rematch there, Fiji having beaten them in the warm-ups. And then finally, a massive one in quarterfinal 2, the host France against the powerful South Africans. So pretty tasty there, or very tasty there. Let me know if you agree with those lineups in the quarterfinals, if you'd like to see it, and what scenarios you predict. Pop all the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.